for me, I think it is trained. I think it's totally trained.
You can learn it.
I think it is. I don't think there is you can or you can't. I think you learn leadership because. And there's certain people who appear to have more of a leadership quality. Just
charismatic. I've seen people that are like addictive to be around.
Yeah, exactly.
Cult-like.
Yeah, a lot of and there are a lot of people like that just have that kind of like draw, like people drawn to them, and they're more likely to like dictate and like kind of will make things happen. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're the best leader, right? That's another thing I keep kind of coming back to.
It's not even a leadership quality. It's a cult-like attraction to someone.
Yeah,
that's not really leadership as defined.
Right.
Yeah.
Like and like some of the best leaders actually. Have you read the book Good to Great?
Yes. Yep.
Right. Great book.
That's
in
a
that,
great book. Yep.
He talks about how some of the level 5 leaders that he talks about in there are actually the ones you might not think were great leaders, right? Because they tend to be like a little bit more reserved.
Yep.
Tend to be a little more quiet.
Thinkers,
they'll listen a lot more. They only talk when they like really think they have something good to say. As opposed to think you like kind of identify as like, oh, they're the good leader is the person who's like rallying the troops and like getting people to go and like and yelling at them like do this, do that. Those people tend to think of like the best leaders.
Oh yeah, but it's not. Yeah.
No. And that's something I want to get into too on this podcast at some point. I plan to is leadership and how is that going to?
Oh yeah, you could do a lot of interesting episodes on that.
Right.
Yeah, one thing we touched on was military. I don't know if you want to go into that. Like, what if this island is so successful? It has such a great draw on this shared economy. And what if other countries try to take it over or decide that there's natural oil under the island?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. I don't know if you even want to go there, but that's...
I mean, it's a reality. I mean, that's what a lot of wars come down to, right? Is someone saying, oh, I want that. And then kind of, it's usually like that leader that we're talking about. It's like, oh, I want that. I'm going to
take it.
That's mine. And so just coming and being like, because there's two ways. It's like, they could just come to us and be like, hey, how can we work this out so that we can get that thing and we can exchange it for something that we have that you might want. And then maybe we can find a way to make this work.
Yeah, diplomacy. Right?
Yeah.
Can we negotiate something?
But some people are just like, I'm going to come take that. And then it's like, well, we just got to make sure that we have some badass defenses. Like, well, you know, there are things out there like Israel's, what's it called? The Halo, I think.
Like air defense systems or...
Yeah, it's basically all around Israel right now is rocket defense systems that are just like looking for missiles coming in and they shoot them down right away. The dome, something dome.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
I can't remember it either.
You have that, and then I think there are people who would just need to be trained as, I think there are people who are naturally inclined to be military.
I think
so. Who have a propensity to gravitate towards that and like that kind of way of life.
Those were always the warriors.
Yeah,
like you watch in the Middle Ages. Yeah.
And I think training them in more of like a kind of a samurai way. Warrior way,
stealthy,
right? Not stealthy, but very centered, very understanding that like war and death isn't necessarily very good, educated. But it's sometimes necessary. Yeah, and just like very like disciplined people, very coming from a place of we're here just to protect, right? We're not here to be killers. We're doing this because sometimes we may have to, and hopefully we never will, but we're going to be trained and ready to. And knowing and training, I think, the military in a way that like each individual member of the military can think for themselves. Our military, I feel, is you have no thought. You have no self.
You're a drone.
You do what we tell you to do. And sometimes that's not the best case. Sometimes that person needs to speak up, especially when you're realizing like, hey, this isn't a mission we should probably be going.
Or if you're on the front line seeing things firsthand, they look differently than on a data in a spreadsheet.
But is even that, like, again, I'm not a military person, never been in the military, so like there's a lot too that I don't understand. That's why I need to talk to military experts, which luckily one of my good friends is an ex-Navy SEAL.
Awesome.
My best friend from high school was a Navy SEAL.
Wow. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll talk to both of them, see what it was like and what it's like now, and get their different perspective.
Yeah, there's. I kind of wonder sometimes if World War III will be an electronic war. You know, if it'll be either cyber attacks, that cripple economies, trade systems, or could it be even worse than that, like drone-powered attacks, like autonomous, like robotic attacks.
That's what it is, man.
So maybe even both, like electric.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder the role of EMP,
which could actually be interesting, right? Actually, if we took it to another place, if we were able to do like, all right, we're going to do Russia. If it could just be only, which it not always is, but if it could only be like Russia versus the United States, and it's like, hey, we're going to build 2 robotic armies.
And it's like a chess game or something. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, all right,
whoever wins this game.
We're still spending a bunch of money, which is all we really want to do. And then we fight each other, and whoever wins that game gets whatever.
That's
and
maybe the civilized new generation.
Right.
That's brilliant.
I just wanted to say hi briefly, check if there's anything new that I could help with or anything else.
I've got a new deck, same link. You can take a look at. We're doing a podcast, so we're actually recording. And then I've got a meeting at 2 and a meeting at 4, so I'm like, I have an hour, like from 3 to 4 though. I'll find you if you're still here.
Will you be hanging around here?
Yeah. Okay. I'll be here till 5. But that link has a new deck on it.
All right. I'll take a look.
Thank you, Adrian.
Cheers.
Yeah, military. I like that idea of just agreeing that whoever wins this technologically savvy game, right? Because you're right, they want to spend billions of dollars on this, even if it is no man's land space.
Yeah. And you can still train, like it will still be operated by your military guys. Like they'll still be like, it'll be just like they'll be in like a virtual room, or maybe they're just in like virtual reality, right? And they're still like being a robot, but they're just not there, so no one's dying.
Humankind's not getting decimated in the process. Yeah. Or infrastructure is being decimated.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a cool idea, right? I think there's a movie in that. That's a really cool idea.
Probably is. That'd be cool.
Again, execution.
That's the key. Like, how do we make it happen? And the funny thing with ideas like that, I'm like, all right, what? Like, I already started running it. Once we say, good idea, I go, okay, we need this. We got to get the roboticists. We got to get the governments on board. Yeah. How do we sell this? But yeah, man, I mean, great conversation.
Fun.
I had an awesome time.
Yeah, brilliant.
I love talking about this stuff. Obviously, you too, which is really exciting. And you're able to like break the mindset and really get into it, which is really cool. Where can people find you? And how can they help you? I like to do that one too. How can they help you, and where can they find you on the internet or in person? Yeah,
so I'm Chris Matthieu on the internet. Matthieu spelled funny, Matthieu. So I'm Chris Matthieu on Twitter, Chris Matthieu on GitHub. Octoblue was a cool, fully open sourced IoT platform. If you're considering IoT, use that platform. It's got a great community around it. My new company is Computes Inc., and it's computes.com. So we're looking for references of companies and people that are interested in building next-generation decentralized applications on that platform. So, and we're hearing a lot of interesting ones. There's someone building the next Facebook on top of Computes today. There's someone building the next video-powered version of Shazam on top of Compute. So, I mean, we're seeing some very amazing use cases come out of the woodwork. So we're always looking for feedback on how to improve that system. There's a beta program in place. I think there's over 700 registered developers on the Computes beta program. So you can go to computes.com, sign up. We'll send you a license key to experiment with it. We're always looking for feedback, and that's probably the best way. Twitter, GitHub, and through, I guess, my email is chris@computes.com.
Awesome, man.
Cool. Thank you, JP. It's been a lot of fun.
Agreed.